shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, J.O. Mike, and joining me is Dion the Music Man. Hello.
Hey, what is going on?
Well, not much. It is a new year.
Yes,
the
it
Mayans
is.
lied to us. It is 2013. So yeah, new year. Tons of Beyond the Night going to be going on. We're here to do the Season 2 recap of Knight Rider Classic and all that good stuff. What are you been going on? What do you got going on over there besides being sick like a dog?
Not too much. Just trying to get, trying to break this cough, and it's slowly breaking. But I have found another place I want to live. Just got to save the money for it.
Ah, cool.
We'll see.
Yeah, moving sucks.
It does. But when you get done, it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to do this again. Not for a while.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so as I said, we're going to be recapping Season 2 of Knight Rider Classic. Kit, hit the turbo boost.
I have a little plan to field test Goliath tomorrow. I expect him to be ready.
By noon, as promised.
Well, this shall be completely hardened by then.
Final code is scheduled to be applied at 8 a.m. It'll reach maximum density within an hour and a half.
That's very good. What about the rockets?
They're ready for installation.
Proceed.
Yes, sir.
So first up, we're going to be talking about our favorite moments from Season 2. For me, anything to do with Garth and Goliath. All of that stuff, that whole storyline was just absolutely awesome. Obviously, seeing Stevie again, that was great. And David Hasselhoff's singing career exposed. And it really kind of goes without saying, like, oh, what about all the stunts and the jumps and the turbo? I mean, that's just for me. I don't write that kind of stuff down because that's just a given in Knight Rider. Everyone's gonna love every time Kit turbo boosts, or every time ski mode is used, or every time any of the gadgets are gonna use. So yeah. What about you? What are your favorite moments from Season 2?
Well, the fact that yes, we find out that Michael has an evil twin brother, and of course the Goliath stuff. Seeing Stevie, finding out that David can really sing and it's not lip syncing. I just kind of found that funny. I also actually like the fact that Season 2 didn't end on as much of a flat note that Season 1 did.
Well, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that last episode,
right?
Or last time,
right. But I mean, it didn't end on like a really huge flat note. I mean, there could have been some episodes that could have been turned around.
Yeah,
but
Well, like we said in episode 15, if you just flipped, Let It Be Me and Big Iron.
Right.
We would have been much happier with Let It Be Me being the season finale because, and I don't know if it was, I know Knight Rider's a product of its time, just like most 80s shows are, But even some 80s shows back then, I don't know about the action ones, but 80s television in general, some of them actually did think about the season finale or the series finale, and some of them did go off without, with a bang. And Knight Rider just, I don't know. And it's not necessarily that the episodes, well, with the exception of that voodoo crap, it's not necessarily that the episodes are like Big Iron on its own it's a really fun episode to watch.
Yes,
it's
it is.
interesting.
Yes.
So Big Iron is not a bad episode. It's just its placement was bad. As we've said before, if they had, put different episodes in different order,
right?
Not necessarily, oh, hey, you need better writers, or oh, hey, you need better script producers, or it's not that. It has to do with the order of where the episodes fell in the season, and that's really, So what else though? For favorite moments?
Wow. I guess the fact that we get to see some of the recurring actors and actresses play different parts.
Right.
Lance Legault, I think, was in season 2, and he reprised.
He didn't reprise that role.
Didn't reprise that role, but he came back to do another.
Right. He came back to do a different role. Same thing with what's her name? I
see your
man.
face. I see your face because she played in the first season.
Pamela Susan Shoop.
Yeah.
She comes back in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to that obviously, but that was the first person I thought of was, someone that had already been in the show that had come back. But yeah. So, all right. So, what didn't you like about season 2? Least favorite moments.
One was, I guess they whole April Curtis. I like Rebecca. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I do like her, but it wasn't the same without Patricia. In some respects, there were episodes that could have really used Patricia's character, and then there were episodes that could have used Rebecca's character, and then I think there would have been episodes that could have used them both at the same time.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see how Bonnie and April would get along if they would. As we said in the season 1 recap, Bonnie as a character, she by the end of season 1, she kind of came to grow on us because she finally just, dropped her cold shoulder bit towards Michael and kind of warmed up to him and kind of warmed up to the audience as well. With April, I found that she was already warming up to the audience. It wasn't like a stone cold, oh, you're just the instrument for my car, thing, which is what Bonnie had in the beginning of season 1.
Right.
And I like that April was a little bit more flirty and stuff like that. And I can see why you wouldn't necessarily like her all the time, but for one season. And I think that she played the emotional parts with Garth and Goliath. I think she did that very well.
Yes, she did. She was excellent with those.
Yeah. Yes. So, anything else you didn't like about season 2?
I think there were some things that, like, I don't know, maybe Big Iron. We all know what the episode was about, but if you weren't a fan of Knight Rider, people would look at that episode and go, "Why does that need to be in here?"
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? I think another thing that actually kind of surprised me was the 2-parter, and I'm right now not looking at what the name of it is, but it had
Mouth of the Snake.
Yeah, Mouth of the Snake.
Yeah.
it's a great episode. It had lots of action. But that was more of a David Dalton episode than it really was a Kit and Michael episode. I just think that could have been taken out and left out.
I mean, I didn't mind it so much, watching it as a kid. I didn't mind it so much watching it now before I looked back on the information of what it actually is, which it was, as we've stated before, it's kind of like a backdoor pilot into giving, I forget what the actor's name is off the top of my head, but giving that character his own series. The only problem is, because I did look this up before we recorded.
Yeah.
The only problem is Code of Vengeance was the pilot that was going to be the David Dalton series. They took away his $6 million man abilities. They took away all his he was just an ordinary guy. That's why that pilot failed. That's why he never got his series off the ground, because they took away the coolest thing about the character.
Did they air that? I don't remember it ever being aired.
Let me look.
No. I just wondered because I never heard any, as a kid, I never heard any advertisements about it.
Yeah.
I never heard, anything about it. It was just, we saw this guy in Knight Rider who could, swoop in and basically help Michael Knight out, kind of like the $6 million man does and whatnot.
According to Wikipedia, spin-offs and sequels, Code of Vengeance, the two-part episode Mouth of the Snake, served as a backdoor pilot for a 1984 series to be called All That Glitters. Rejected by NBC, the lead character and actor were recycled for the short-lived 1985-86 series called Code of Vengeance, revolving around Charles Taylor, who is the actor, as Vietnam veteran David Dalton. The Knight Rider episode featured Dalton exhibiting great gymnastics, not unlike the $6 million man, sans bionics. But when Code of Vengeance aired, Dalton was an ordinary skilled drifter. It soon fell off the schedules after only two 2-hour movies and 2 1-hour episodes. So it had 2 individual 2-hour films and 2 1-hour episodes. So it basically had 6 episodes total, I would say.
Yeah. And it just kind of fell off.
Yep. Didn't last at all. So there you go with that. Yeah. Mouth of the Snake is okay. I liked it for the fact that, I don't know, I see why you don't like it, but I liked it for the fact that it's
too confusing to follow. In some
little bit.
In some respects, it is too confusing to follow. And also, the other thing I did not like is they did not show Rebecca in every single episode.
Yeah, that's true.
If Rebecca is, obviously supposed to be the mechanic for Kit, why don't you have her in every episode?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's that's one of the least favorite moments for me. There is just different little nitpicks.
Yeah. For me, looking at my episodes we love list, which we'll get to here in a bit, looking at that list and looking at the list of the episodes that we hate, there were more episodes that I liked in season 2 than hated, but at the same time, there were way too many individual corrupt towns, judges, cops.
Yes.
There were way
too many of that.
Season 2 has, let me just look here really quick. Season 2, out of 24 episodes, there are maybe, I'd say 18 of those are too many, corrupt town. I mean, I would have liked to have seen more story-based stuff like Goliath and Goliath Returns, stuff like Soul Survivor, stuff like that. I would have liked to have seen actual more storytelling done than just, hey, this is the villain of the week.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about it before, but I had wrote this down, the lackluster season finale episode. Yes, we've already talked about it. Yes, Big Iron on its own is fine, but as a season finale, it's not a good episode.
It was not. It should not have been put as the last episode. I mean, we've discussed that, but
Yeah.
It just didn't work. Like we've discussed before, if there were some episodes that had been switched around, then it would make more sense. It would have made more sense.
Exactly. So we are going to get into our favorite characters after this.
It wasn't a fair fight, April. It was like putting Sugar Ray in the ring with an overgrown heavyweight.
I'm sure it was, Kit.
It won't happen again, I can assure you of that.
Well, it better not. We've got you patched together with scotch tape and baling wire as it is.
If I ever see that snout-nosed ignoramus again...
You better hope he's heading in the opposite direction.
I'm already reviewing my computer logs of our confrontation. In a matter of hours, I'll know everything there is to know about that banana-headed bovine.
You tell him, kid.
So now we're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite characters. Favorite characters, obviously Michael and Kit and Devin. Those are, go without saying.
Goes without saying, yes.
Yeah. For me, April, seeing Stevie again, Garth and Adrian are my favorites. What about you?
Garth, Adrian, April, Stevie. Those are my favorite characters. Obviously the original, Devin, Michael, Kit,
Yeah. There weren't too many one-off characters in season 2 that just kind of showed up in an episode that I really, really, really enjoyed. And there weren't too many villains that I really like. Okay, I like in A Good Night's Work that that they kind of tie in the story of Tanya.
Yes.
With Cameron Zachary. I like Cameron Zachary as a villain, but I wish they would have paid a little bit more attention to the story or found a way to somehow, in Night of the Phoenix, if Tanya just took a call from someone that we didn't know about, but we knew that there was someone else besides her and besides the head of security guy.
Yeah.
Wilson. If we knew that there was someone behind the scenes, A Good Night's Work would make a hell of a lot more sense. But I do like Cameron Zachary for that role. Let me see here.
We'll see him again later in season 4.
Oh, will we?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All I will say is Voodoo. I'm not gonna.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, so he was okay in A Good Night's Work. Now he goes to the shittiest episode ever. Jesus.
You know what? I hated it too.
I swear to God, I am almost tempted to just switch in the episode order as we review them. I swear to God, I'm so tempted to just switch Voodoo Night with Scent of Roses. I swear to God.
I want to. I really do.
This is how it should have been done.
Yes,
damn
it should have.
Even
David
Earing said that.
Yes, David did say that. He said it. It made more sense.
Yes, but I will say I like the characters in Brothers Keeper, which is the one where I like that whole story in Brothers Keeper.
I do too. That was
the one with the two brothers and the bomb and I fell in love with this woman. No, I loved the whole.
I loved her first before you, and I make you talk.
Yeah. As far as least favorite character,
pretty much.
What were you gonna say?
Sibling rivalry, pretty much, is what I was.
Yes. As far as least favorite characters, all of the corrupt cops. Too many storylines with them. It's just. I'm sorry to keep harping on that, but it's true.
Yeah. One of the other favorite characters, and even though this woman did not come back to do another character, it was the lady who played the blind lady in Blind Spot. I liked that episode. Least favorite character? Wow. Yeah, I have to agree with you on the corrupt cops thing. That just... that didn't... I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, we do this in season 1 where there's a town that's corrupt and a police officer that's corrupt and yada yada, and then you see it again in season 2 and it's like, all right, once was enough. Why are you putting it through the blender again?
I mean, I guess an argument could be made that, oh, well, Michael has to help everyone, or Michael has to help the everyman, or whatever else, and, you know, but still, it just, I don't know, maybe it's because nowadays I expect more out of my television writing as far as story-based plots and all that stuff, and just watching it again and seeing all these, but it's like one after another after another. Sure, they put a twist, oh, the judge is in charge, but there's still corrupt cops, and I don't know, it's so weird.
Well, I don't, we haven't moved up to the least favorite episodes yet, because if we haven't, I'll
No.
save this. Okay, I will save this note then.
No, not yet. Speaking of which, we are going to get into that with favorite and least favorite episodes after this.
Like the nursing kid, huh?
Electronically speaking, I'm pulling his water wings. He's lucky he didn't sink. We're both lucky. This synthesizer's faulty, and there'll be no more aquatics until the entire system's been rebuilt from scratch.
Just when I was beginning to enjoy the water, too.
No more swimming for you, buddy.
I see you're lifting the anchor. About to get underway, are we, matey?
Kid?
Michael, I do believe April is becoming more parent than technician to me.
Why do you say that, kid?
Well, when I objected to the water, I was told to go in. And now that I've begun to like it, I'm told to stay out. Isn't that motherly?
Motherly?
You got that right.
Mother... Now listen, you two.
Alright, let's get into the episodes we like and dislike. For me, on the side of episodes we like, the Goliath two-parter, absolutely awesome.
Great.
Very, very interesting. More backstory for the Knight family, the quote-unquote Knight family. Brother's Keeper, kind of like what we just said a few minutes ago. I really like that storyline. I know you didn't care for this one that much, but I still like Soul Survivor because it does introduce us to.
I watched it again, and I could see a little more kind of where you were coming from.
It's the music, man. The music just like it knocked him out, it knocked me out. That's what it was. It was the music.
John did an excellent job with that.
Yes, he did. That was very, very interesting. Yes. Nightmares for the fact that, you know, Michael is no longer Michael Knight. He is Michael Long. He loses his memory, and that's an interesting way to go with that. Goliath Returns, two-parter, where we've got Adrian coming back, and she's been supposedly behind the Goliath project from the beginning, blah, blah, blah. So I like that one. I like Mouth of the Snake for what it is, but at the same time, I don't think I'll be going back to watch it anytime soon. It's a good episode. It tells somewhat of a decent story. It's kind of more on the along the lines of, it's a mystery episode to me where you've got so many twists and turns you don't know what's happening, and that to me is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the old mystery filmmaking type of stuff. Like Mouth of the Snake, is as bad as this is going to be, actually reminds me of a TV version of Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh, good lord.
Shut up.
No.
Shut up.
No.
Shut up. Man with the Golden Gun is cool.
No, I'm not knocking it. No, but it's just the concept.
Right.
I'm not knocking it. It's just the concept, because I wouldn't think that anyone else would remember that.
Man with the Golden Gun was one of the coolest Roger Moore James Bond movies
Yes,
ever.
it was.
All right. And finally, obviously, Let It Be Me. What about you? What episodes did you like on season 2?
Let It Be Me, obviously. Both of the Goliath two-parters.
Yeah.
Merchants of Death was one of my favorites, and the reason being was because we actually did get to see into a little bit of Devin's past. And, I liked that. Obviously, Blind Spot was one of mine. Brother's Keeper was another. Now that I've actually seen, went back and watched Soul Survivor again, I do agree with you, TFG, about a lot of what you were saying when we talked about it. at first because I was like, nah, I'm not, nah. And then when I went back to watch it, I'm like, okay, I could see this.
Yeah.
Nightmares was one of my favorites, and you're gonna disagree with me, but that's fine. Race for Life.
It just doesn't. I see where you're coming from with it, but at the same time,
Race for Life, man. That's
no. I understand where you're coming with it, but again, it's because I have those,
the
awful
memories.
memories of when I watched it as a kid and everything else, and it just
Isn't like in reality, it's like raining, and then you watch it, and it's like it's raining on TV, and it's like, oh my.
Yeah. Yep. What other episodes?
I liked Mouth of the Snake for what it was. I really kind of wish it had taken off into its own deal, but that was then. This is now. A Good Night's Work. I like it, but I think it could have tied into, like you were saying, Night of the Phoenix from season 1, and things of that nature.
Yep. All right, so let's get to the episodes we can't stand. For me, I only have one that I had written down, that just one I just absolutely just did not care for whatsoever. The rest of them, as much as I complain about the corrupt cops and all that stuff, I get it. It's 80s fanfare. That's what they had to work with. That's the writing that they did. But there is one episode of the entire season that I just will never watch again. I wish that the master tapes for this episode would burn in hell. Return to Cadiz. I hate this episode. It's the one with Kit the Cat.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll get to Kit the Cat in a second.
Well, okay, Return to... Okay, I won't say that I hate Kit the Cat, but we'll discuss that in a sec. Return to Cadiz, I could see your discomfort, displeasure, whatever you want to use.
Yeah.
It's not Knight Rider fashion. This is the precursor to Baywatch. I'm just going to say it.
That's kind of scary.
It is, but,
Oh, God. I'm thankful they never did this, because I know by the 90s, David wanted to distance himself or whatever, do something else new besides being associated with Knight Rider. But it would have been so awesome if they did a time travel episode where Mitch Buchanan and Michael Knight met each other.
That would be kind of funny. I mean, he had been associated with Knight Rider for 4 years, and
and plus all the no, but Return to Cadiz, it's not a Knight Rider episode. It's a very generic episode, and it turns out that the famous author is
he's the one who's corrupt. He's the villain.
Yeah, that was just dumb. So what ones don't you like?
Well, okay, there are a few things in Kit the Cat that I don't like.
Okay.
One of which is, you're supposed to be females can be cat burglars, males can be burglars, whatever. But you got to get the butler involved on that one. Obviously, the second part of it I didn't like, and we've already discussed it, was the corrupt cops deal. The other episode I did not like was the Ring of Fire. I understand what the message behind it was.
Yeah.
I understand what the message behind it was, but that didn't need to be there.
Yeah. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. No, not right now.
All right. So, overall thoughts, kind of closing out. Overall thoughts on season 2. What are your overall thoughts on the entire season?
Season 2 was just like season 1. It had its good moments. It had its great moments. It had its flat moments. But you could look past the flat moments, and the okay, oh my God, why did you create this moments, and say, you know, season 2 is just like season 1. So, you know, season 2 began on a high note, it ended on a flat note, but it tried, you know, and I have to say that about season 2.
Yeah. Same thing for me. Season 2 had a handful of great episodes. I think with the change up in mechanics with April, from Bonnie to April, I think they added something new and something different to it. So there is that. I do like that through each season they're adding new and different abilities to Kit, so that's always cool.
Right.
What else? I like that we kind of do see more of Michael's past in certain episodes, and that will continue in season 3 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Overall, season 2 was good. There weren't any Mickey characters, so that's always good. Yay. That was one of the worst things from season 1. Yes. All right. So that's going to do it for us here on the season 2 recap. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back to close the show after this.
Now I'm a mobile mailbox.
Welcome to a collaboration between the Geekcast Radio Network and the Pop Culture Network. This is From the Command Center, the podcast. I am your host, TFU and Mike from the GCRN, and joining me is Zordon himself. Scotty Cash.
That's right, Scotty Cash from the Pop Culture Network, and today we're introducing you to the audio version of From the Command Center, the podcast that will entail our intake on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the episodes, the seasons, and all that other good stuff.
So let's say you're looking for a podcast of your favorite 80s comic books, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, etc. Where are you going to go to find us?
Welcome to Star Joe's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm Chuck. That's right, everybody. We're the Star Joes. We host a podcast called Star Joe's Podcast, where we talk about your favorite comic books, your favorite toys of all the 80s properties.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask, Thundercats, Voltron, you name it, we cover it. If it's in the 80s, we'll cover it at some point.
Yes, so what you want to do to find us, you can go to iTunes, you can go to www.starjoes.com.
And remember, the Force will be with you.
Because knowing us is half the battle.
You can now hear the Geekcast Radio Network while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free-use and talk mobile app available for your smartphone. And when you download Stitcher to hear Geekcast Radio, you'll have a chance to win money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in the App Store. During registration, hit the promo code BOX and enter Geekcast Radio, all one word, to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episodes of the shows will be waiting for you in your favorites. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows too. Always available to you on demand, no syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio. Don't forget to enter promo code Geekcast Radio when you register.
Do you like retro shows? Did you grow up in either the 80s or the 90s? Then tune into Telecast, GeekCastRadio.com's newest podcast. Join us here on the Telecast as we revisit some of your favorite shows, such as Clarissa Explains It All, Salute Your Shorts, Saved by the Bell, and much, much more, only on GeekCastRadio.com.
Kid? Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
For you, the listeners of Beyond the Night, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Use audibletrial.com/geekcastradio. All right, so season 2 is behind us, and we'll be finding out what what'll be in store for us in season 3 next week. What have you got? What do you got going on? Why don't you pimp out your stuff?
Well, you guys can check me out on sky106.net. That is our website, www.sky106.net. I'm actually going to be doing 2 shows this weekend. The radio show that I do is called Music Man's Mayhem, and it consists of some old school stuff. So if you guys are into the old school stuff and pop and other things like that, you can check myself out, as well as another co-host who has been hosting with me for quite some time. Her name is Michelle, but she goes by Mischievous Michelle, so she's part of the crew now. You can check that show out every Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. We will also be doing it again this Sunday, a week from today. So depending on when this actual podcast gets put up and things like that. On
the Night airs every Wednesday on the Geekcast Radio Network. I thought you knew this shit already.
I knew, but, since we're recording it Sunday. But anyway, we're doing it a week from Sunday, being today. You'll hear us again from 9 p.m. until 12 a.m. Central, which, of course, in Eastern Standard Time would be 10 to 1 Eastern. So there you go. You can follow us on Twitter, add us to MSN, even though Microsoft is shutting it down. But I'm just putting it out there because that's what we got right now.
Okay, little note here.
Yes.
MSN Messenger is dead. It is now Skype because Microsoft.
Yes, I know.
Skype.
Yeah, I know that. But they're shutting down the Messenger services in March. So it's not completely converted yet. I just thought I'd help you with that.
Well, I know it is converted because I
Did
got
they
an email.
convert it? Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got an email the other day saying if you update your Messenger, and actually a friend of mine on Facebook told me this too, said that I went to update Messenger and it immediately uninstalled it, installed Skype, and I now the dude lost all his Messenger conversations.
No.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh
yeah.
Wow. Well, okay, so that helps with that. But at any rate, folks, www.sky106.net's the website. Check it out. Listen to me and all the other great DJs. And if you like us, please send us feedback. Please follow us on Twitter. Most of the time we look at the Twitter anyway, so just look us up there and tell us, what you like, what you don't like. If you've got some show suggestions, we'll definitely take them under advisement.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Email us, feedback@geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Hopefully in 2013 we will be getting this rectified. I will be talking to Steve tomorrow, and what's going to end up happening is, in order for us to get an approval from iTunes, we have to change the end of the RSS link. So instead of it being feedburner.geekcastradio / whatever it is, it has to be the tail end of the link. Instead of saying Beyond the Night, it has to say something else, and then we can change it back. But I am fully planning on getting Beyond the Night into iTunes this year, even if I have to go to California and blow iTunes up. Follow us on Twitter. At Beyond the Night is the show Twitter. Mine is TFG and Mike. Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing the first 3, technically 4 episodes opening Knight Rider Classic Season 3, those being Night of the Drones 2-parter, Ice Bandits, and Knights of the Fast Lane. For now, I am TFG and Mike with
the Music Man 08 Dion.
Kit, close the show.
On second thought, Devin, maybe some wine is exactly what I need. And Michael, keep that thing away from me.
One man can Michael Knight, a lone crusader in a dangerous world. The world of the Knight Rider.